What a game! What a game! What a game! Uh, that's just football for you. You never know what to expect on the day. On the day. However, I guess in the context of a London derby, this game lived up to the billing. It lived up to the billing. It was a game of highs and lows on both sides of the aisle. But overall, I guess for the neutrals, it was quite an entertaining game. Uh, for me, just looking at the game, I think it was a game maybe Arsenal could have won if things had happened a bit differently. The first goal, for instance, I think it's a bit contentious because I don't know what you expect a player to do. When you've jumped, you jump with some of your arms in the air, and there's only so much you can do to control that. So I don't know what to do. I think that penalty is debatable, but it's something we just have to live with in the game. I think Arsenal uh, were a bit. I'm not sure their game was not just fluid. It was not just fluid. It was not just as to be frank. Through this season, Arsenal haven't had a game that I've watched and I've said, you know what, uh, there's that fluidity we could see from last season. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the absence of Party or Arteta trying different tactics, but it's not just happening at the moment for Arsenal. Yes, we've been managing to grind out some wins here and there, but it's not. It's really not be entertaining if we really want to be honest to ourselves. We want to be honest to ourselves, and it was on display today because I looked at what Chelsea played. Chelsea didn't really do much, to be honest, and as expected, like what I said in the prediction for this game, I expected Chelsea to be solid, which they were, and to hit on the break. And if you see how the two goals happened, even what led to the penalty in the handball from Saliba, it was a quick break, and I believe it was Sterling who put in the cross, and Palmer headed the ball onto Saliba's hand for the handball. It was a quick attack as well. Then the second goal as well from Mudryk. That was of course quick attack and of course a stroke of luck, as you have it. I blame Raya for that. Like he's questionable. He's been questionable over the past 3 games. He got away with it at Man City, but at Lens and today again, he's been making some errors, and I think Ramsdale will be knocking on Arteta's door and say, you know what, this guy is making some errors. Why not give me a chance again to redeem myself? In the first instance, I don't see the mistake Ramsdale made, anyways. But looking at the game, I think it's a game. Arsenal now, looking at how it has ended, would say, "Oh, we're lucky. We're lucky to have come up with a 2-2 draw." But I think if Arteta had played the right people, I don't see why Jorginho should be starting that game. I don't see why Jorginho should be starting that game ahead of Partey. Except Partey is injured and they are managing, Partey should be starting that game because there's an element of creativity and spark that Partey brings to this Arsenal team that is missing right now. Because he's that deep line playmaker thing he does, and he's able to attract the pressure, which relieves the likes of Odegaard, Martinelli, and the likes to do what they need to do. And Jorginho is not able to take that pressure. First of all, he's featherweight, which means that any simple touch on him is on the ground, and the opponent gets the ball and it's a counter. I think the second goal happened like that. Although it wasn't Jorginho, it was Odegaard. He wasn't strong on the ball. He was bullied, got the ball, and off to Modric, and they scored the second goal. So I think Partey, he brings that flair, brings that fluidity, and he also brings the solidity. He's strong on the ball. So I think Arteta misjudged it by selecting Jorginho ahead of Partey to start that game today. It's something you have to rethink. And on the other side, I guess the gods of fairness were on. We're watching this game today. So Arsenal keeper makes a mistake on the one hand, and on the other side you have Sanchez also, gifting Arsenal a goal. But you still have to give Declan Rice some kudos. Some players would have missed it from where he was, but he managed to put the ball at the back of the net, and I think that spurred a comeback. And what to say about Leandro Trossard? I knew he was someone that definitely would come out regardless of where we are with the game. He would definitely have to come on, and he came out and worked some Trossard magic again. And I think this is probably the second or third time Trossard is coming to bail us out this season. So it's a good thing happening on the left flank. I like that flank. I like that kind of competition between Martinelli and Trossard is good. If one player is not having his day, you can bring another one to turn things around, change the dynamics. I think that's what we need with Bukayo Saka's wing. He did come up with the assist, but before that, he wasn't really going Saka's way. And I think sometimes we need, just like we have for Jesus, you can bring in Nketiah, Martinelli, you can bring in Trossard. At the moment, we don't have a replacement for Bukayo Saka. And that's something we really need to think about. Not just for the fact that he might get injured, but sometimes a player might not just be in the game. You need someone to be able to just come in and change with a different style from what the defender might be used to or expecting. I think we need that. We need that currently with Arsenal, especially for Bukayo Saka's position. And I'm beginning to suspect Zinchenko. Zinchenko, he was taken off after the first half, and rightly so. He's usually too weak to the ball on the ball, gives too many misplaced passes. I think he's a bit maybe I say loose and just lackadaisical with his gameplay. And he wasn't right for this game, and Arteta rightly so took him off. And you could see the difference once Tomiyasu came on. Tomiyasu was bossing the game. There was nothing much from Sterling as soon as Tomiyasu came in, and it was a good change from Arteta. But I think that fluidity is still not there, and hence we're not even able to see much from Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel Jesus was nowhere to be found today. Absolutely nowhere to be found. I think we need to rethink the pattern of play. And sometimes, I know Arteta is trying to bring in so many things. You have the left back moving into midfield and all of that, but sometimes just play the classic 4-3-3 and have your full backs go wide and whip in some crosses. Change things a bit. Give the opponent something new to think about. They already know what Arsenal is going to do, so you have to be able to switch things up. Now you don't have defenders coming off the flanks whipping in crosses, and your midfielders are not able to be creative as well. So I think Arteta needs to think about his tactics and just look for what works, because at the moment Arsenal is just struggling to grind things out. And if Arteta doesn't change things, only time will tell. The next 10 games, you would see Arsenal would drop off the top of the league, or we won't be a contender. And I know we're right at the top right now, but with the way we are playing, I'm not too confident. Of what will happen 10 games down the line, except our gameplay changes. So it was a fair result, I would say, on both sides, because to be frank, both teams didn't play superb football. One will see the scores, and if you didn't watch the game, you say, wow, this must have been a fantastic game. But 3 of the goals were just lucky goals, and only the Arsenal Trossard goal was a well-worked goal. So, it was on another day, it could have just been easily 1-0 like I predicted. Because if the ref could have not given a penalty for the Saliba one, and if Raya was in position, he might have caught that Modric's goal. And Sanchez, if we had calculated well, might not have misplaced the pass, and Rice scored. So it was just an average game, to be honest, not too entertaining. There was goals, but it wasn't out of the ingenuity of the teams, but rather just luck. So it's one of those games, one of the Arsenal-Chelsea games again we've come to see. And yet again, Chelsea are still looking for a win over Arsenal. I think it's 4 years counting now, and I don't think Chelsea will get any win come to the Emirates, regardless of Arsenal's form on the day. There's no way Chelsea can come to the Emirates and get a win this season. So they probably look on to next season. Not even this current crop of Chelsea squad, because I saw it and I was like, really? To be frank, nothing against Chelsea, but I don't see them doing much this season. I watched the game, and even the fact that they were at home, there wasn't really the Chelsea of before, you would see some great combination plays, but not this Chelsea team. But at least to be fair to them, they didn't lose, which is something. Chelsea didn't lose, so kudos to them for that. And like I'm saying, for Arsenal, they too can figure out what they need to do tactics-wise and probably improve from there, because they have good quality players, but collectively it's not just happening for them. And I guess you could say almost the same thing for Arsenal. But for me, I think for Arsenal's point of view, it's very easy. Play Partey. But the thing with Partey, I know if you play Partey, 3 games down the line, he's injured again. So Arsenal needs to look for a more sustainable solution to that going forward. There's just not that creativity. I might do another video of what Arsenal need to do to unlock that creativity and fluidity within the game. I think Odegaard sometimes is just missing. He doesn't cement himself as that creative mind and person is supposed to be in the middle of the park and making things happen. So there's just that, and I think today Rice was playing on the left midfield like I wanted him to play. But Rice is someone you put there because, okay, he's solid, but he doesn't have that creative element as such to him. So I still think there's a couple of things that Arsenal could do to switch things around and just play with things around. Left to me, I could try bringing Trossard to play that left midfield, play Partey as the DM, and Martinelli on the left wing. And I think Trossard and Odegaard, 2 10s, would create some havoc, or I don't know. And I think you could play Havertz as a top 9, because I think today when he came on, he wasn't too bad, apart from he's always making short passes. His passes always come short, never gets to his player. I think that's my challenge with him right now. But I think if you can just keep him as a top 9 to do the link-up play, the flick-ons and all what have you, I think is a bit good at that, decent at that. So yeah, but overall, Arsenal is not there yet this season. And I know as a fan, you would want to say, we should win the league. But to be frank, if I'm being honest, with the way we play in this season, I don't see us. We could manage to get into the top 4, but I don't see us winning the league. Because if you want to win the league, these games are the games you should be winning. You shouldn't be conceding odd goals like the second one. You should be equalizing immediately. I think Arsenal only had, besides the 2 goals, those were the only 2 shots on target, which means we weren't even threatening Arsenal, Chelsea's keeper, which is not good. It's not good. There was nothing. To be frank, that's why I said both teams weren't really good today. Both teams were quite really average or just below average, in my honest opinion. And as an Arsenal fan, we need to do better than that if you want to win the league this season. So that's my 2 kobo on this match, and we move on to the next one against Sevilla on Tuesday. For those of us in the Champions League, Chelsea, I guess your next game will be Saturday or Sunday. I don't care you're not even in the European League. All these Chelsea fans that are just coming on my timeline saying Tunde this. Those of you that when it was 2-0 up, they were saying, "Oh, Tunde, see, he's 2-0." He said this. At least, even on our worst day, you can't beat us. So, what do you have to say about that? Gunners for life!
Turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts and put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow